Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Raising Siposetu. This video is just going to be short and it's a little bit of an update on what's happening with our angel Siposetu being in the hospital. And guys, I am trying to record a little bit of the journey, but it's just hard, you guys. It's just hard, but I will, when everything is done, I will post something, but I just want to give you an update on what's happening now. I find that recording a journey like this one is very difficult because I don't know how people do it. I think that it will work better if you have somebody like um, I don't know, a neutral person that is just gonna come and follow you with the camera. To do it yourself, it's very hard because it's emotional. There's a lot of emotional moments, and you do wanna share those moments because the point of me wanting to do a vlog on this whole thing was so that if another mother is going to go through this procedure, they can learn some things, they can prepare better than I did. But it's just so hard. I don't know. I've seen people do go for procedures in hospitals and they record the whole journey. I don't know how they do it. I even forget that I have a phone that can actually take some footage while in the hospital. So it's proving to be very hard, but I'll try and share part of the journey. Anyway, you guys, we had Siposetu has already had the procedure. Izolo, we went to theater Izolo. Honestly, you guys, the first part of this journey has been successful because if you go we at theater, obviously you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how the procedure is gonna go, if it's gonna be successful or not. You don't know if if you yourself are going to theater, you're going to come out alive, or if your child is going to come out alive. And that part of it is done. She went to theater yesterday and she came out. She's okay. They woke her up. She's okay. 2 hours later, I felt like she was back to like being herself, kind of, considering that she does have she has just had an operation. So that I'm celebrating, you guys. I'm celebrating that the doctors are saying that everything that they intended to do, they did, you know, and also just the fact that she is out of it, bamvusile uright, and her condition was not so bad that the doctor felt like she needed to be in high care, so she is in a just a normal ward. So that is a celebration, you guys. But even as I was celebrating yesterday, I knew that I was only celebrating the first part of the journey. I knew it. It was almost like celebration, but I got even more nervous now because the recovery is what is the most challenging, especially with the child that has her condition. It's very hard for her to understand why she's lying on her back and she's not being put on a chair and all that. So it's hard, you guys. I don't even want to lie. But that first part of it has gone well. We are now in the recovery process. She's still in the hospital. I spent the night in the hospital. So right now I just came back so that I can get some sleep. And her caretaker is there, Unokwanda, helping her out. And we are not tonight. So yeah, you guys, we didn't get enough sleep last night because even though she wasn't crying as much because they are maintaining, she's on pain medication, but she was mourning at points, so it was hard for me to fall asleep because at points I didn't understand if she's in pain or it's because she just doesn't understand where she is. And she also just on a normal basis she doesn't like sleeping at a place that's different from the room that she normally sleeps in. So it was hard to know what is the problem really. So she didn't get a lot of sleep. I mean, maximum 2 hours. I think I slept for less than that, maybe like 30 minutes. And yeah. So, but I will explain the whole process of what's happening with her now, with her recovery, maybe, and also explain it in pictures so that you can know exactly what's happening. But here's the thing. So far, I feel like one thing I would say, we are at, let me say this, we are at Busamed Hillcrest Hospital. It's a great hospital. It's a private hospital, and the service there excellent. I don't want to lie. It is. I think the only thing that I would really like, if you're a parent and you're going to go through a procedure in the hospital, just get the time of the procedure. Don't let them get away with just saying be in the hospital at 10. Get the time of the procedure and get the time of the last meal for a child, because I tried to keep on asking what time is the procedure, and they would say just be in the hospital at 10 a.m. And then they had said that she mustn't eat after 6, you know, and she doesn't wake up until like way after 7, sometimes 8 o'clock. So by the time we woke up to get to prepare to go to the hospital, it was already late, and I didn't want to take a risk of feeding her. And then we get there, and then because we fed her, they said they're not gonna have the procedure done yesterday. Then we have to. I didn't want to go through that, so we decided we're not gonna give her any food, thinking that when we get to the hospital, it's probably gonna be an hour or so, and then after that she's going to theater. Did we not go to theater at like 3:30? You know, so that part of it, I think that is something that I learned. I'm hoping and praying that I never have to go through preparing for theater ever again in my life. But if I ever do, I will know to get the specific time, because then there was no problem with us actually feeding her at like 7 a.m. in the morning if she was only gonna go to theater at like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So there was an irritation on her part, because by the time she went there, she was irritated, she was hungry, and all of that. But we got the preparation and stuff. The stuff there is like excellent, guys. I've been in any hospital in Durban. Ask me about it. I know public and private. I know about it. So they have really good stuff there. And so she went to the. Oh, let me tell you about this experience. So when we are at, because we had her father had gone on Monday for a pre-admission, because we wanted to make things smooth when we come. So then when we came yesterday, so we go to where the admission is, and I was being helped by umdabu wase Lokuzeni. Niyabazi abomdabu wase Lokuzeni. So, and we had asked all of the questions, how many people are allowed in the room and whatever. And they had said, since the COVID restrictions have been uplifted, we don't have to test for COVID. We are vaccinated anyway, us, but they said we don't have to test for COVID. Me and her father can be there, both of us in the room. And obviously in theater, we only allowed when they're putting her to sleep and whatever, and then only one, and then after that, we're not allowed in the room when they actually do the procedure. So when we're there doing, because it was me, her father, and the caretaker, because I just wanted her to come to help, but also she just wanted to be there, because at this point she just loves it like it's her child too. So when we get there, this lady is like, have you guys tested for COVID? I'm like, no, because we were told we don't have to test for COVID. And then I'm like, we are vaccinated though. And she's like, no, then only one of you will go. You remember we are downstairs at the reception, like where they do the admissions. Only one of you will have to go upstairs. I'm like, upstairs? What do you mean upstairs? In the ward? And I'm like, so between me and her father, who's supposed to go, is like, no, you guys have to choose. I'm like, no, but we were told that we can both go in the room. I understand if you have a problem with the caretaker, but us, the parents, she's about to go through an operation. We need to be in the room. And the lady's like, no, it will only be one of you. So I like, you know what? It's in the morning. It's already an emotional day. So I'm like, okay. She's like, so who's gonna go? I'm like, okay, I will go, because, you know, mom. But I'm just thinking, I'm just going to say that to her. And then, when the doctor comes or whatever, I'm just going to tell them, listen, this is what she said, but we can't have only one of us. Because not only does the child need both of us as parents there, but I need him and he needs me. So how are you going to decide who's going to go there and deal with this whole thing that is very heavy, very emotional for all of us? So okay, fine. we go and we sit where we're supposed to wait now for someone, for a porter to take us to the ward. And when we're there, and then eventually, so I'm sitting there thinking, I hope that it's not this lady that's gonna help us into the ward, because we're still going to have lots of problems. I'm not understanding her. She's being rude, well. That's the only staff member I've had a problem with in that hospital. So then, okay, and then someone else comes, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And then when she comes, she's like, guys, let's go upstairs. She doesn't even say, okay, who's gonna go upstairs? Guys, let's go upstairs. We go upstairs to the section where she's going to be prepared for surgery. We got there. Right at the door, they've got chairs there, like a waiting area. So they asked, only the parents can go in. The caretaker waits there, and then we go in the hospital. I'm like, what was the point of this lady telling us this? Like, anyway. But when we got there, guys, the staff was amazing. The preparation was great. And it was just that she was hungry for the longest time that we were waiting there. It was just, you know, the hunger was over it. I wanted her to just go in and be done. But eventually, all of the specialists that were going to take part in the during the procedure, the normal, they come and they speak to you, explain what's going to be happening. Do you understand? And they were going to put her to sleep, and then they were going to give her an injection to numb the bottom part of her body. So they were explaining what that injection is exactly, and how it's supposed to work, and where on her body it's supposed to go. I honestly, I feel like that process. They explained it. They answered all of my questions, even questions that I was asking 100,000 times. And yeah, and then we went into surgery. Here's the thing, though, guys. I think as moms that we do sometimes, we drive ourselves crazy with guilt, because when we went to theater, or eventually they did allow the caretaker to come in to the room while we were waiting. You know, they were not really that strict. They're like, COVID over now. Come, you will sanitize your hands or whatever. So now so me and her father, when she was taken to theater, we went there. So we got into the waiting room, the theater waiting room, prepared everything. And then that's when now the staff, they say, who's gonna go into the room? Because the doctor had explained, you can go into a room with her when she's being prepared. Like, she will be put to sleep, so that the last patient she says is someone very familiar to her and all of that. So if you can do that, you can be there for that. But once we are done with that, then you walk out of the room. Obviously, you're not gonna see the whole procedure. So when I was there, because I knew that that part of it was going to be heavy for me, you know, I really honestly wanted to say that her father must go, and he was prepared to go too. Because when they asked, he looked at me and he said, "Should I go, or do you want to go?" And honestly, I recognized this for myself, and I think that next time I will know to say, because so in my mind, I knew that there was gonna be hard for me. There was gonna be heavy for me to take. The doctor had already explained exactly what they're going to do to her. We've already signed that we are okay with what they're going to do to her. And if we have to choose between me and him, who's gonna go into a room and hold her hand there, and I knew that he was going to do just as well as I was going to do with her. So it wasn't a matter of thinking that he's not gonna be able to do it for her, but it was just the guilt that I felt like everybody in the room expected me to say I'm gonna go because I'm a mom, you know. And I ended up saying, okay, I will go. And it was really hard for me to be there, you guys. It was really hard. And it's hard. It was just hard because you feel guilty that you've made a decision for your child to go through that. But then I was feeling guilty that I have an option of whether to go into that room or not, and she doesn't. So I forced myself to want to go to that room. But I was not understanding myself. Because, but if her father does not have a problem being the one to go to that room, because I know that's gonna be heavy for me, and I was gonna be the one that was gonna spend the night in the hospital after the procedure, because only one parent could spend the night there. Um, why was I having a problem with just saying, you know what, baby, be the one to go there, I'll do something else. I'm okay with that. That is going to be too much for me. I don't know why we do that as moms. Like, I know that people put pressure on us, but sometimes we put pressure on ourselves. Because I do recognize that I'm very lucky in the fact that I have somebody that is there with me when it comes to this whole journey, someone to hold my hand, someone to hold her hand when I cannot hold her hand. And not every mother have that. A lot of the mothers that I have met that go through these procedures, they have to do that all by themselves with their children. So I do recognize that I'm very lucky. But why do I still feel guilty that, you know, why can't I just let go and be like, certain things he can just do, because I know he is capable, he can do just as well as I do. Anyway, there was something to learn about myself. But yeah, and then it just went, I think it went well, you guys. I'm happy that it did. It's still very, very challenging. Like, my chest was feeling so heavy yesterday. I was eating like crazy. I'm like the opposite. People would say when they're stressed, they don't eat. I don't know. I have times when I'm stressed, I ate. I was hungry the whole day. And sometimes hunger represents longing for something, or a feeling of dissatisfaction. And I think that was what it was for me. I was just feeling hungry the whole day. I was eating but feeling hungry the whole day. And at the same time, I was nauseous. I wanted to throw up, and my chest was just feeling, it was feeling heavy, because it's like, operation is like you have a problem in your body, but in order to fix the problem in your body, we have to injure your body a little bit more to fix the problem, and then you have to live with the injury, and then you heal the injury and heal whatever it is that was the problem. That's basically what it is. So it was like I'm putting my child through that. It's hard, guys. The recovery is not easy. The break that I'm taking right now, I need it, because I know the person that helps me with her. Also, she wanted to spend a night with her. And I just felt like, you know what, for tonight, let me come, sleep. Even if I feel like late at night, I feel like I can't do it, let me go to the hospital. That's what I'm gonna do. But I need to just rest a bit, and then I can go back. But guys, thank you so much. I've received so many messages. I know that other people that want to send messages, because they don't have my, if you want my number, you can say in the comment section. And if you are a mother and there's something that you want to ask or share your experience, just let me know, and I will give you mine. I don't mind people WhatsApping me. I really don't. I actually like it. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And yeah, I hope you get an update on what's happening with our little girl. We still need a lot of prayers. I really feel like yesterday, like half like half the case, and everybody that knew me was praying yesterday, because everybody that I knew, I was like, I need prayers, because I need her to come out, and I need her to come out. Okay, so thank you so much to everybody that really was praying for us. And yeah, you guys, I will keep updating you. And yes, like the video, share it with everybody that you can share it with. Thank you so much. Nginethanda kakhulu.